Good morning, everyone. I am Riya Sinha, your assistant teacher. Today, we are going to start chapter number 4 of civics, that is understanding laws. Obviously, you all are familiar with some of the laws, such as those that specify the age of marriage, the age at which a person can vote, and perhaps even the laws dealing with buying and selling of property. You all know that every Indian citizen has have a right to vote when we all attain age of 18 years. We now know that the parliament is in charge of making laws. In the previous chapter we have discussed it. Do these laws apply to everyone? Or how do new laws come into being? All these kind of things we are going to know, we are going to discuss in this chapter. In this chapter, we will discuss each and every perspective of laws. See the first topic given in a book. Do laws apply to all? See. A following situation is given. A government official helps his son go into hiding because his son has been given a 10-year jail sentence by a district court for a crime that he has committed. A government official tried to help his son into hiding because his son has given 10-year jail sentence. Obviously, if someone has committed crime, then that particular person will get the punishment also. So, do you think that the government officials' action were right in this case? That particular government official whose son has committed crime, he has tried to hide him. So, is it right? Should his son be exempt from the laws because his father is economically and politically powerful? Obviously not. The above is a clear case of the violation of laws. Obviously. So, members of the Constituent Assembly were agreed there should be no arbitrary exercise of power in independent India. They therefore instituted several provisions in the Constitution that would establish the rule of law. The most important of these was that all persons in independent India are equal before the law. That's what we were talking about, that all the persons are equal before the law. No one is rich, no one is poor, no one belongs to any particular community. All are equal in the eyes of law. The law cannot discriminate between persons on the basis of their religion, caste or gender. What the rule of law means is that all laws apply equally to all citizens of the country and no one can be above the law. So, we cannot discriminate persons on the basis of their religion, caste or gender according to law. All the laws apply equally to all the citizens of the country and no one can be above the law, whether it is government official or simple private job worker. Neither a government official nor a wealthy person nor even the president of the country is above the law. So, any crime or violation of the laws has a specific punishment as well as a process through which the guilt of the person has to be established. In ancient India, there were innumerable and often overlapping local laws. Different communities enjoyed different degrees of autonomy in administering these laws. In some cases, the punishment that two persons received for the same crime varied, but depending on their caste backgrounds, with lower caste being more harshly penalized and this slowly began to change as this system of law began to further evolve during the colonial period. Even in the before the colonial period, we used to discriminate people. We did not have any particular law book or any constitution according to which all the person will get the punishment. So it is often believed that it was the British colonialist who introduced the rule of law in India. Obviously, they had done a lot of bad things for us, but at some instances, they were really good. They provided us a system through which all persons could be equal before the law. Historians have disputed this claim on several grounds, two of which include: first one is that colonial law was arbitrary, and the second that the Indian nationalists played a prominent role in the development of the legal sphere in British India. So, one example of the arbitrariness that continued to exist as part of British law is the Sedition Act of 1870. Now see what is this Sedition Act of 1870. The idea of sedition was very broadly understood within this act. Any person protesting or criticizing the British government could be arrested without due trial. So, Indian nationalists began protesting and criticizing this arbitrary use of authority by the British. Obviously, because of this Sedition Act, they used to imprison any political person or any prominent person who is playing prominent role in Indian nationalism. So, they started protesting or criticizing the British government, who could be arrested without due trial. Indian nationalists began protesting and criticizing this arbitrary use of authority by the British. So, they also began fighting for greater equality and wanted to change the idea of law from a set of rules that they were forced to obey to law as including ideas of justice. By the end of the 19th century, the Indian legal profession also began emerging and demanded respect in colonial courts. They began to use law to defend the legal rights of Indians. Even Indian judges also began to play a greater role in decision making. Therefore, there were several ways in which Indians played a major role in the evolution of the rule of law during the colonial period. So, we have seen that by the end of the 19th century, whatever Indian legal profession was there, they also began emerging and demanded respect in colonial courts. And therefore, there were several ways in which Indian played a major role in the evolution of the rule of law during the colonial period. With the adoption of the Constitution, this document served as a foundation on which our representatives began making laws for the country, which we have discussed in the previous chapter also. Every year, our representatives pass several new laws as well as amend existing ones. So, an example is given, Hindu Succession Amendment Act 2005. So, according to this new law, sons, daughters and their mothers can get an equal share of family property. Similarly, new laws have been enacted to control pollution, provide employment. So, these things are done by our representative according to our need. Okay, then that's all for today. Hope you all understood the covered topics well. Thank you. Have a nice day.